Everyone, I'm Mike with Iron Drake Studios. We're finally at this leg of the project where we're going to put the LEDs on the motorcycle. Once again, I got here the 2006 Honda Shadow Spirit. Batteries underneath the seat, so we're going to do that. But before we get to that, we're going to take a look at what all we got in this kit and how I actually want it to go. Alright, let's take a look at that. Okay everyone, once again, here we have our parts here. Some things I noticed when I was giving this just a little go through before, like I said, out of all the lights that I've worked with in the past, this is by far the best that I get with super bright LEDs. And you know, this isn't like a paid endorsement or anything, it's just that what I found has worked the best. One of the things you'll notice, they didn't used to do this before, is now at the solder points it comes in and it has this clear sleeve over it and heat shrinking. Not all the original ones had that, like that. And the other thing to notice is here at the end, the tips actually are tinned with solder already. I did say that what I wanted to do, instead of using wing nuts for a lot of stuff, I actually want to solder stuff. I want to put heat shrink over it. I want to keep a clean look to this as much as possible, and I don't want to rely on couplers or wing nuts or whatnot. So I'm actually going to be soldering. So this is really, really nice that that actually comes onto it. The other thing when we did the unboxing is their instructions have it for both strips going along the bottom of the gas tank, which is nice. And like I said, we got 19.7 inches. That's actually 10 segments, because the segment is 3 LEDs. So we actually got 10 segments per strip of LED, which is nice. So that actually takes up like the majority of my gas tank. So I'm a little torn on what to do here. And of course, the instructions for wiring. We're going to go through all this, but it's really not difficult. As you can see, everything's wired red and black, or in this case the wires are red and brown, but at least the extra wire that I got goes into our fuse, which comes right off of the positive terminal, and it says the negative can go to the frame or the battery. We are going to put it on the battery because I'm pretty sure I don't have a good place to put it on the frame, and it's just as good, and that'll keep a nice clean look under the seat. So before we begin, I just want to show a couple things. Alright, as you can see, we got our strip. There it is. And that's actually going to fit like the entire length of the gas tank. Right under right here, it might actually look really, really nice. You can get some nice directionality going down onto all this chrome, the cover and whatnot. That'll be great. And right back here, see, I've got more than enough wire to get right to the battery, so I don't even really need a whole lot. I thought about maybe doing some where I'd put some up here. I'm not sure I want to get into that right now. It's June 10th, or July 10th rather. July 10th, I've got Gettysburg Bike Week. We're leaving Thursday morning. It's Tuesday afternoon. I really want to get this together and done, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on a whole lot of details. I really want to do this up quick. Now the only other thing, back here on the fender strip, hi puppy, I want to have it wrap around here. Now I'm thinking about doing 5. I ordered an extra one of these, and what I can do is I can cut this in half on one, half on the other, run it so it's a little bit up over so it shows, and then run the wire up and under in between to the battery. And there's more than enough wire to do that. And that'll leave me with 2 5 LED sections that are cut off the ends of this and that other section. So I really have some ability to move this stuff around. Now it's on the other side that I don't like. Now, see on this side, I'm missing my side cover. I have no idea what happened to it. It blew away one day while I was riding. I didn't even notice it. I don't really keep anything in the toolbox, so I may put the toggle switch right here, just on this. I haven't found a reason to use this. I don't keep the tools in there for it, so this might actually be a good place to mount it. Maybe off the top here, just come in off the top, just drill a little hole, put a toggle right there, just so my leg doesn't catch it right here, and that might actually be the best way to do it. Alright, so this side of the motorcycle, I like this, that it has the length here, but it doesn't seem symmetrical on this side. It looks like this side sticks more out than down. I don't know, maybe I just can't place these LEDs right. Now I got a 9-volt battery that I can test to look with this, but it doesn't give the amount of bright. Like, these are really bright, but if I put a 9-volt on here for you, you're not going to be impressed by it. But of course, it's 9 volts compared to 12. I thought maybe about putting an LED strip right here near this side cover, but I don't want to lose the functionality of that either. Pull that off. See, this is why I lost the other one, because these just pull off. There we go. So I want to be able to take this cover off when I want, so I don't really want to mount LEDs here. I could mount some right here on this inside part of the frame right here. That would shine LEDs back here, but I am worried about the amount of heat that would be trapped here by the engine and the exhaust. So I'm a little leery about that. So maybe I don't want to do that so much either. So it's a little bit of give and take, but I'd like to get this. So I might run something maybe right underneath here. But we're really going to go with strips on both sides of the tank, strips on both sides of the fender struts. And that's definitely what we're going to go with. I'm going to leave this off for now since we're taking the seat off. We're going to be wiring all around here. So best to just leave that out. So let's get that seat off. Hey everybody, I wanted to show you this real quick. I did talk about in the one video about getting one of these, which is an inline dimmer controller. This one I actually had because I just bought lots of LED stuff for different various projects, but a lot of the components for everything is still the same no matter what. So like this, even though I didn't use it for that project, well, I wanted to be able to at least show you in this. It's really nice. It's actually labeled which end is LED and which end goes to the battery. So it actually says at both ends, so you don't even get confused. So for this, I'm just going to hook this up like this. Take our battery like this. 9 volt, not the 12, so it's not going to look impressive, but you still get the idea. And there you get your flash. There are 3 buttons: mode, speed, bright, and light. So mode, there's a dimmer fade. I don't know how well that shows up, but it's a really nice dimmer fade. Fast fade, strobe, even strobe, quick strobe, back to that. You go back to light, and you go back to light, and it's just constant. And you just can play with this all you want. I mean, it's something to think about, but at the same time, if you're going to be riding and you don't want to have to mess through 100 different settings, because this will remember the last setting it used. But if you don't want to mess through all the settings to find out the fast or the on setting, because that's what you're going to have to do with this. Slow. There we go. I think that's about as close as you're going to get. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about putting it on. At least not right now. I can always change my mind. I can undo the solders. I can attach this right here. So, you know, run the fuse here, run the toggle out here, whatever. Just something to keep in mind. I think I saw this was $7, give or take. So, just a little something extra if you really wanted the flashing but didn't want to commit to the full RGB kit. This will get you there. Alright, so one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to put our toggle switch in. That's where we know we're going to have to run wires to the battery. Let's figure out where our toggle switch is going to be. We're not going to need all this end wire either. So I was thinking right here. Now I do keep some bits in here. That's about it. Bits, small screwdriver. That's really it. I don't think anything else really. Yeah. Not a whole lot of room in there for anything. Don't have the original toolbox. That's fine. I got a tool bag. That's fine. So I'm going to take this. Now you'll notice like this, the wires aren't really color coded. They're both black. They can be anything you want. It does say off and on, but when you hide this, you're not really going to see. The good thing about things like this is whenever you put this on, it doesn't matter as long as you keep positive, positive, and negative, negative. One way will be off, one way will be on. You can't really screw it up at all. And you can. It takes some doing. Some people will surprise you. It's really hard though. So we know we're going to need a hole. That looks about a 1/4 inch, I'd say. Give or take, 1/4 inch. Maybe. So we're going to do that. This side will go up through here. Put it right about here. Run our wires out the side right here. See if I can actually get in there. See what we can do. Does that completely cover? Yeah, it does. Alright. Can I get in there? Oh yeah, I can get in there. I'm going to make the hole, actually, doesn't completely come out. I can just run the wires right out the back side here. Yeah, it's barely a compartment. So yeah, I'm going to put the switch right here. Just like that. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. A little thicker maybe than I might really want it. Can always indent this plastic a little bit. Get it where I want it. A little star washer. And that. This might be really thick. I might have to trim that down just a little bit, just because I can't seem to get that in so much. Alright, I trimmed that up a little bit. Final placement. Back and forth right here, like this way, so it's not going that way, because that would be easy to kick it off with my leg. So there we are. There's our leads. And we're just going to run them right in the back here, right with all this other electrical. I can see it. Why can't I? There we go. There's a nice hole in the back. So this works out really well for me. If I didn't have the cover, if I had the cover for this, this might be a little bit more difficult. But I don't have the cover. I don't think I'm going to get the cover. There we go. I can still put in a little screwdriver and those bits back in here, and it'll be fine. So, I'm going to close this up. Alright, now let's disconnect the battery. The first part we didn't need to disconnect the battery. This part we may want to. Because, you know, reasons. Before doing any kind of electrical work, probably a good idea. Alright. Alright, so next we know our positive end is going to go to our fuse, going to go to our toggle. One end of our toggle, and then out. So, pretty easy. So we know everything that we're going to power is going to come off of the one toggle. Doesn't matter whichever one is which. So let's get out our inline fuse holder. There it is. Let's go ahead and put our fuse in so we don't forget to put it in later. Here's our fuse. Just drops right in. Just like that. Cap it right there. Simple. Alright, so at this point, we're going to take our fuse. We're going to twist this. Put this in here. There we go. We're going to crimp. Beautiful. Then we know that end's going to go to our powered over here. And then this end, the other end, is going to go to one end of our toggle switch. Doesn't matter which one. You know what? I'm actually going to use the wire nets here. Actually, a whole lot of space on this. That's alright. We got our wire strippers. We can make more. Let's see. What did I say this was? 16 gauge. There we go. There we go. Just like that. And we'll put a little bit of electrical tape around that. Keep that nice and secure. That should be really good. So here we go. Alright, so this end will go positive end of our LEDs. Alright, so we're going to put our back LEDs on first. Now I did wash the bike before I started. And you can use 3M adhesion promoter, but I like to use rubbing alcohol just to get rid of any excess dirt, wax, rust, anything that's going to prevent a real good stick. And this is going to dry off really quick. Going to hurt anything, and we're going to get really nice adhesion to this, and that's the best part. Don't really need a whole lot. It's just going to clean it up really nice. I'm going to clean up a little bit here and there too. The tape is going to do 90% of the job, but like everything else, 90% of any work that you do is prep and cleaning. You got everything out, you got everything cleaned, then you're ready to go. Alright, our LEDs. These are the two that came with the kit, specifically came with the kit. Say that third one. Like I said, it's real nice, positive and negatives marked, nice heat shrink coating all over it. I'm going to take off these tags. They just say, do not power up on real, heat will destroy unit. Use only with listed class 2 power supply. Well, the battery is what the power supply is. 12 volt DC, direct current, which is what we got here. These are going to be in the way, so I'm going to take those off. If I can just get the scissors under that. I'm not even sure I need all this lead on it. It'd be a shame not to use it. Like I said, the ends are already tinned, which is great. Just like that. And I'm going to cut these in half. Let's see if I can get you to see on here. Focus. 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 It's not going to focus. Anyway, right here you can see there's a little line and a little shear symbol to it. You see that? Maybe. Anyway, it's right there. So we're going to go 5 sections because that's just about all I need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. That's our line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all you gotta do right there on the line, and it's not going to hurt anything at all, just cut right on that. Just right there. Perfect. Grab our next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure. Sometimes it's hard to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. 5. You can actually see right between the two cut lines. You will see 2 solder points on each side of that cut line. So if you want to add anything after you cut it, that's how you do it. Just peel back the adhesive a little bit, and it's really good epoxy on here. It's still sealed. Like there, you didn't even break the weatherproofing right there. It is still sealed. It's perfectly fine. Can't get any better than that. So like I said, I want to run this on the fender strut. I want to come up a little bit. I'm just measuring this a little. I might come back a little. Move this wire out of the way a little. Yeah, it's going to come up right under the fender all on its own. There it is right there. So that's going to help me hold it in place while I get my final fit. See what all's going on. Yeah, I just want like one LED. You're going to get like 1.5 LEDs popping off the back here. That's what I really want. I'm going to start this just a little bit here, and as I work I'm going to peel it back. So I'm going to get my starting point set right here, right in the middle. I'll get this on the other side so you can see, and I'll have the camera set to the back. of the tape is held in by that heat shrink, so you might have to scoot it or tug at it a little bit. But now's the important part. When you're doing this, you want to really press. Really press, because you don't want this not having full contact. It's nice and warm, which is going to help. Usually heat will weaken an adhesive, but in this case it's actually going to help us a little bit. I mean, it will. If you apply enough heat, the adhesive will just fall off. This actually gets stronger after a little bit. Just want to keep it's nice and flexible. You don't even have to worry. And there's our one lead right here to the battery area. That's where we want it. Beautiful. Alright, you can barely see what I got on that side. I'm going to show it again on this side. Not as much light, but this is where it's going to be. Right there. Go under where I got my turn signals. Then on the power cable right here to the back. Just like that. More than enough lead for that. Just going to have it right. Oh, it's getting stuck in between. I don't want that. Right there like that. That's what I want. Right here like that. Just a little bit of one LED. Kind of see the other. Definitely going to improve my nighttime riding, because people are going to see my running light here. You're going to see this light. This light will change for braking. This light won't. Still give me that good nighttime visibility. So I just want that a little bit high right there. Like I said, we're going to take our tape. I'm going to peel back a little bit the backing paper. Just like that. Just a little bit to start. I'm going to set our LED right in the center there. Take our paper and just start working it back around. Just like that. And then just peel as we go. And then pull, get the paper off, and this is going to shine down, bounce off the chrome on our wheel, on our chain guard, on our shock, really throw that light out. That's nice. Really push that on, get that on there. Wiggle it just a little bit. Not that you're pulling it right off, just enough to make sure it's really grabbed on there. This feels like it has. That's nice. That's nice. That's really grabbed on there nice. Wonderful. Alright. Good. Now let's run the lights for off the tank. Alright, so this kit, when I ordered it, the kit came with 2 of these strips. I got 3. So we cut 2 of them in half to run on the struts. And then I got this one, and look at that. Because I cut them in half, I actually have like 4 full strips when I do that. Not full, but you know what I mean. So I'm actually going to use these 2 on the other side because I wasn't real sure about the placement, mostly because of where the air cleaner is. But this side, I kind of like how this is. I kind of like that. Do I really want to use all of it? You know what? I kind of think, yeah. I kind of think I want to put all of it right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to just mount this one as close to downward facing underneath the tank as I can. I really wanted to sit on the stool for this. I really need to get a good eyeball on this. Let's see. And then lots of room back here, so I'll be able to zip tie the tail of this right here. So I just really need to figure out where I want the top of it. I think I want to come up more here to shine off this front rocker cover. You know, a little bit more forward facing, not too bad. Like right there looks pretty solid. And that's going to come all the way to the back. Now I don't like that it's not going to show a whole lot on this back rocker cover. That's the only thing I don't like. But I don't want to hide it all the way up in here because it doesn't show anything. So peel that a little bit. Just start running it along. It's nice on this. The tank has not a groove, but like right where there's like a weld seam or something to this tank. Like I had a 77 Harley. It had a nice peanut tank. It didn't have anything like this at all. So, but that sit up higher on the frame, so you can definitely get at all the top of the engine. And then once again, just put pressure to that. Make sure it sticks. More than enough to hold this on. That's the one thing I don't like about those pods that are on the Road King, because they're heavy in and of themselves. These strips, they have the resistors on the ribbon, and that's one of the things. You get the pods, like on that one it had 3 LEDs, the resistors were in there. I don't know what else is in there, because it's a big bulky pod just to do this. I can't even guarantee it's as waterproof as this is. This is nice. It's so nice. That's going to give us exactly what we want right here. Just like that. Take this off. That's why we carry our knives, so we can take care of little things like this. Everybody's got their knife, right? Here we go. Yep. Just like that. Alright. Now let's look and see what we can do about the other side. Alright, so this side, what do I got here? I got the 2 strips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that wire that I ordered, that I haven't needed up until this point, but I'm glad I got it. Like I said, I might have decided to put it right on the front forks. The way this is designed, I can always come back to this again later. I can just run new stuff into this and connect it. I can always add on to it, it'll be fine. But for here, so I give myself a little bit more freedom to decide what I want to do. So, see, I could run this one here, just like the other one, run this back. Still got a little bit of space here. I mean, I could do a whole other strip just like the other side, just a little bit of wire to connect these 2 points. So that's all I need to do. Got our professional soldering station. Let me just put some water in my sponge. There we go. There we go. Turn this up. Good stuff. All right. So, we got our LED segments. I'm going to put these together. And I looked, and I guess the ends, the factory ends, weren't the same. Because I know I cut these at the solder points, but darn it if they just do not match up. Actually going to have to cut one section out of these just because, yeah, the factory end is cut short and I can't use it. So I'm going to have to lose a section on that. So that's a bummer. I was looking at it and no, I don't see any way around that. I'm not sure if I can get to... No, it starts right there at that LED. No. Nope, too close. So I'm going to have to cut one section out. That's a shame. What section do I want to cut out? This one? Positive, negative. I want to do this section. There we go. One section of LED that I can add somewhere. Alright. So for this part, we're going to peel back a little bit just to reveal that copper underside. So, wrong side. Positive, negative, positive, negative. That's what you want. So, there and there. This takes just like that. And I guess we'll use about, we want to give ourselves a little bit of room to work with. Don't want to leave too much of a gap though. Yeah, that's the real issue you run into here. So we want to give ourselves enough room, a little bit of gap. I think this is going to be the middle section, which is mostly going to be hidden by the air filter anyway, so I'm going to give us that to work with. And I left the wire strippers outside. Alright, so I got my wire strippers now. And what did I say this was, 16 gauge? Sounds right. There we go. Twist that a little bit. All right. There. What we got here? Positive elements that side, so that's where we're going to have our red. Red there, like that. Everything's laid out, everything's nice. Get our soldering stuff out. There it is. Good deal. How are we doing over here? Alright, now I found there's usually a good bit of material on here, so it's nice to just rub it a little bit. It gets rid of a little bit of that epoxy and plastic. Get down to the copper. Make a nice burning plastic smell. In the center of the copper you can see a little bit of solder. Can. Just be very delicate with this. It's probably the most fidgety part of this. It's alright. Just take your time. Nothing else needs to happen. I started doing this at about 2:30 or so, but with all the production matters and all that, it is now 4:40. So, alright, almost 3 hours. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to put my phone on the charger, because that's why we have tool benches, so we can do this. So that sometimes you just have to stop and check your phone. So your wife can send you pictures of your dogs. See? My dogs. My happy, funny dogs. Okay. So we're going to take our little wire ends. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get some solder on these first. Mostly because I hate putting solder on wires. I do. As much as I do this, I really don't like doing this part at all. But the nice thing is, solder really secures all these connections better than the wire nuts. So if you have the ability, if you have the time, if you have the patience, go ahead and solder this. You will love yourself for it. A little bit of solder to that. May stink, may get a little messy. Might have to even redo this a little bit. Trust me, it is better than the alternative. I gotta turn this, I can't get a good angle on it for the camera. Sometimes you gotta do stuff just because it works for you. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Alright. Double check. Positive, positive. I mean, you don't have to get it. It won't matter. As long as the lines are straight. But I like to do this. That's positive. Positive is red. Positive is red. You need a little alligator clip just because this gets really hot. You don't want to touch shit. Darn it. There we go. There we go. Damn it. See, I went and moved it. Now here's a good point. If you want to take this opportunity, let's put some heat shrink around this. Here we go. Harbor Freight 42 piece heat shrink set. Will that fit there? That's too close. Yeah, I might have to go for this. So let's see. We want to go from here to there. A little bit extra is fine. There we go. Just enough to cover there. Cover a little bit on the other side. That'll look fine. Let's go ahead and slide that on that way. Beautiful. Just like that. Just like that. There we go. That's one end. Now we still have to put our tail on, which is fine. Got this little bit that I cut off of that end, so we can put that on this end. There we go. So we'll take this, do the same as before. While we're here, just going to add some solder right on that. There we go. So that end's all nice and soldered. And let's see, how much, isn't that nice? When I ordered it, I ordered 4 feet. They put a little zip tie on it with a tag that says 4. That is attention to detail, people. That is a good thing to order. Now, they may have given me more than that. And let's see, I'm just going to, let's see, the other ones had about that much, so I'm gonna cut it right here, just because, for no other reason. Just gonna cut it there. Now everything's in line. I already know that my red, my positive is that way, so I already know coming down this way, because everything's straight, without having to flip it over, which way is going to be which. So I keep everything still very nice. So let's grab this, put that up there, go ahead and tin my ends. There we go. That came apart on me. That'll be fine now. Now, when you got a long lay of line like this, you want to keep it straight, so when you're doing this, what you can always do, reach in the drawer, grab some tape, any tape. I just happen to find my green painter's tape first. Go ahead, tape it down, just like that. Now it won't move. You want to throw this end over here, tape that end down so it doesn't pull it like that. There. Now, you know everything's in line, you know where everything is, everything's held in place. Oop. Put my little bit of shrink wrap here. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. There's one side. There's the other side. Grab our end here. Give it a good split. Go ahead and strip it a good bit. Just like this. Alright. Alright, so like, now we got it. But like Mike, before we put it on the bike, don't you want to test it? Absolutely, we can test it. So we'll just grab our 9-volt battery that I just flipped and can't find it. There we go. Positive, negative. This battery is dying. You can barely see that light. There it is. Barely. Just because this battery is dying. If I pull out a brand new battery, you'll see this perfectly. Alright, I got another battery. Let's see, positive, negative. There it is. See, now you can really tell. Look at that. Put this down a little bit. Look at that. That is nice. All our LEDs are good, secure, very nice. Wobble, 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 wobble. Yep, that's exactly what you want. This is what it's going to look like on the bike. This is a brand new 9 volt. The problem with 9 volts, they don't replenish well. So, boop. There we go. All right, everybody. The final bit here. I'm going to put our last clip on. As a look. This is going to go right there. A little bit of area. It's going to be covered by the air filter. Right there. Not even going to be an issue. That's going to go back here. So it's all good. I want to make sure that this is about even. Let's see, I got it just to about. It's hard when the bike's not standing up. Let's see. It's about there. Right about there. Peel a little bit, get it started. There it is. Pull our paper off. Right through there like that. Get the rest of our paper started. Right on like that. It's going to hold that area up right there. I want it to go up like that. There we go. See, a little bit of time and room that it can remount that a little bit because I came off to this edge, this lip a little bit, and I didn't like that. So it's going more sideways than down. There we go. Just get that on there, just like that. Beautiful. Here's our tail. We put that there. We're going to use our included zip ties. I have more zip ties than what they gave me. I wasn't really worried about more zip ties. Thought maybe more wing nuts, but that's alright too. I'm just going to run this up this little bit of the seat here. Framed by the seat. There we go. Give ourselves a good bit of room there. Just going to zip tie that to the frame. Just a little bit of wire. Just a little bit of cushion right there. Perfect. Take our other end. Move that down and around. And through as well. Right there like that. Leave a little bit of slack. Zip tie there. Alright. I think I can get around this bit. That's alright. I'm not too worried about that end. Alright, so we got our ends. So we got our for positive, or for negative. And we got our end for our switch. Alright, this whole lump of cables. I'm going to readjust the camera so we can see all this. Alright, the final leg here. We got a good camera view here. Alright, so we know all our negatives are going to run to the negative post. All our positives are going to run to the other end of our toggle switch, which is here. So positive, negative. So let's start by isolating all our negatives. So there's actually a good bit of this to do. Let's see, and our negative switches over on that side. And this actually has a really thick binding on this. Wow, they really did a good job. That's actually really good. We need to separate that out a bit. We need to get it about 6 inches down on every single one of those, just to give us the room we need. May have to get a razor knife for this part. Just be careful you don't nick the wire inside. Yeah, I'm going to get a razor knife for this. Alright, so we went ahead and cut back some of the wire so we can get all our negatives together. We know all our negatives are going to go to the negative terminal, so we can start bunching those together. So that's every single black wire. 2, that's 3, that's 4. I could get just get soldering iron and solder this all together. I don't think that's really going to be necessary. I just need to get this all right there in the hole together and trim. Just like that. And there's all our negatives. Now we're going to gather all our positives together. Alright, so there we go. We just did that. So here's all our negative wires to our negative coupling. Here's all our positive wires and the wire from our toggle switch all together in this nut. Alright, and so here's our negative. Just gonna put that down there. There's our positive right there. I'm gonna hit our switch. And oh, that came loose, and there it is. How about that? Looks like everything's working. Let me go and tape all this up, and then we'll put it all back together, and then I'll get a nighttime video. Alright, and then there we go. Turn turn this sideways. I had to switch to my phone and ran out of space on the camcorder. So we got it with the those points hooking up around our positive cable. We got our fuse sitting nice in here like that. We got our other cords out of the way, off to the side, right there. Did our same thing with our negative cord like that. See? Just like that. Then we hit our switch. Boom. Lights on. Of course, you can't see it real well right now. Like I said, take another video once it gets darker.